know this year ain't gonna end right, but
garbage and sanitation worker. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was a caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's, hey, when you're a public figure.
That the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
yeah,
when she did,
listen,
the Trump,
brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Tabitha. Y'all remember Tabitha? All right. Bewitched. Hey, y'all. It's Monday. I ain't seen y'all in like 7 days. Now, listen, we got a lot to cover. And I mean, when I say a lot, I'm talking about we got a lot to cover. Now, one of us is on vacation, but y'all know I had to call into the bullpen. So we still got a family in the building. So I hope y'all are ready because we about to have us a good old time this morning. Man, would you bring the family in? Bruhs. All the bruhs. Look at, and listen, y'all. Listen, we brought Money Man himself, Lamb, in. I mean, making all the money on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out how. Well, I don't want to get started. I was going to say something. No. Lee make his money a little differently, as we found out last week. But Lamb make his money keeping his clothes.
Oh, man, no. We already just started.
But listen, it's just the brothers now. We're in the locker room. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? I be trying not to, don't offend nobody because, sister, you don't offend nobody. But it's just the brothers today. What's up, gentlemen? Y'all doing all right?
What up?
Yes, sir.
What up,
man,
brother?
Listen, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And I'm not going to waste no time, man. Listen, let's get into this thing. Let's keep up with James. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't know what's going on, but I think we're going to get set back about 200 years now. Either these people are going to put some folks in jail or they're going to be held to pay. Listen, Uncle Benny Thompson ain't playing, y'all. Listen, matter of fact, he canceled a meeting tomorrow, but apparently after all this stuff that took place, they put the meeting back on because somebody want to run their mouth. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, they done subpoenaed a couple of Trump's lawyers' phones. They done broke into one of them dudes' houses and then took all his stuff. Listen, man, y'all remember what happened to Michael Cohen? Like hey Shantae, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is what's so funny.
Hey, what's up, Shantae?
This is one of the things that came out in the wash. So y'all know they exposed these senators who was asking for pardons, right? But do y'all know Trump didn't give them a pardon? And I thought it didn't make sense why he wouldn't until I heard this last conference they had. The reason why he won't give them a pardon is because if he gives them a pardon, then they can't plead the fifth. And then when they call them in, then they got to tell what they know. But they still had a pardon. And then guess who that's going to hurt? Number one, narcissism himself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Man, listen, I said, we are really playing an ugly game. This is going to get ugly, y'all. And listen, hell is around the corner. And I mean, it's going to get hot. Black, I know you ain't been watching. But I'm telling you, Big Boy Benny, he done let Liz Cheney, listen, if Liz Cheney was a Karen, I mean, these are these boys' worst nightmare. Because she about getting all of them back for what they did to her. And
right.
Benny letting her have it. And she can go to town. I mean, calling boys out left and right. Black, listen, if they don't do something, this country in trouble. Like worse. And I'm just telling you, this dog is barking and he barking real loud. And I'm saying if he don't bite, man, well, he better not have no teeth in his mouth or something. I don't know.
They may not have a choice though at this stage, especially considering, I know we're going to get into this later in the show, considering our new
Yes.
reality, and we'll cover that here shortly.
Yes.
But they almost have to now,
Yes.
because as the pawns switch on the table, on the board, the Democrats are truly under the gun now. Even though I haven't been watching it, and I do think it was a dog and pony show, the ante has been ratcheted up
Yes,
now,
sir.
to the point where now they may not have a choice
Yes.
but to do something. And I know we'll get into it.
They pissed off the right white woman. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And here it is, dude. Lamb, I'm gonna come to you with this one. They've been doing really good. They have met expectation and gone above. Everybody said that these boys, that they're not playing. This investigating team is not playing, and so they saying for them, because they're supposed to be off right now, right? All of them at home for the holiday, but for them to come back, they say this might be a smoking gun right here. That for them to come back to want to call somebody up that's willing to testify. This is not something really. I mean, how bad do you think it's gonna get tomorrow?
I think it's going to expose a lot, but my question is, does it have any teeth? Are they going to prosecute? They can expose as much as they want, but I think we heard with the audio we heard of Trump in that thing with Billy Bush,
Right.
grab him by the
Yeah.
that didn't take him out. I don't think you can shame him enough to where he's gonna be shamed. He's a narcissist. So if they don't have any teeth behind it, there's no prosecution behind it. It's just more of the same, in my opinion.
You're making a great point, but I'm gonna tell you this: like they moving the ball now. See, because you're right, Trump don't care, but when the other dogs is in the pen and they ain't got no blanket pardons, well, then that's a little bit different now. So whether or not they get to Trump, when they realize Trump ain't gonna watch their back, well, these dogs gonna start hollering. They already been hollering. You know what I'm saying? And so, and for them to make moves, they done went through 2 different lawyers since they done had this investigation. They done went to Jeffrey Clark's and they done went to Eastman. Or Epstein in trouble too. His girl. Well, anyway, that's another thing. Kenny, I know you ain't been watching, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, I'm with Black on this one. Like, they've literally come to a point of no return now. Like, they done called out names. They done even put their own people on blast, and that's Liz Cheney doing that. Because they had to because if the other Republicans were there, they would have just kept hush mouth, and they would have stopped Liz from entering in some of this evidence. But see, she's on the other side. She was in those meetings, those closed door meetings when they were talking about how Trump really was, and she got the audio. It's a point of no return right now, Doc. Something gonna go down, and if Trump don't get it, well, everybody that was with him gonna get it.
And that's Dick's daughter.
He ain't stutter. Go ahead, Kenny.
Well, right. And you know that old saying, a woman scorned hath no fury. And
she gonna
that's
give him
what
daddy's
we're seeing
best
now with Liz Cheney, man. Because they already basically right. They basically ostracized and basically made a stepchild in the Republican Party. So she ain't got nothing to lose. You know what she's saying? You know what? You white men in here that didn't mess with me. Oh yeah, I got something for you. So I'm a wait and see. You know, I'm still a little skeptical, just because all this stuff it's out, and I get it. But unless something gonna happen, I'm still a little skeptical. I still think Donald Trump is a Teflon Don. Believe me, I still think he'll find a way to escape all of this.
Yeah, I do feel like he's remember that movie Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, Trading Places? I believe he those brothers, but I believe it's gonna be a lot of collateral damage now, because as my boy Lamb said, she's gonna give him daddy's best.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on Letitia. See what's gonna come from that.
Yeah, and see, and I'll say this, and we can move on. There was another thing that I wanted to point out that I thought was very horrific, but it speaks to the truth about our country, and it was the fact that, again, we don't race bait, we just tell the truth. And I'm telling y'all, these white men, they were up there just singing, whistling Dixie, and they were just talking about how those right wings were coming after their family, broke into their house and all this kind of stuff, and they needed protection. But then they put up this black woman and her mama. And I was very frustrated, because what they did to her, and nobody seems to care about what she got to go home to. See, all those white people that were getting all that backlash and all that fighting, at the end of the day, those people can still ask for security. But that black woman and her mama got to go home to these foods, and everybody's like, well, it'll be all right. You just need to go some. That's not what this is about, y'all. They were just there to do a job that they thought they were doing for their country, and we won't protect them. And they wonder why we act a fool,
right,
as a community,
right?
Because y'all not looking out for us,
right.
But then y'all want us to be patriots. No, no, y'all praising the patriots right now because y'all call them good people going into the Capitol. But what about those women, man? And I was so mad when she said that they was trying to bust in their grandmama's house. I mean, I thought this was 1950 again. And I'll say it again. I said it 100 times. I'm gonna say it. It's not the people that's racist that's the problem. It's the justice system that allows the racist people to get away with these things. Once justice is fair and balanced, then those people will stop doing those things. But until you all make sure justice is balanced, then these folks just gonna keep doing it. I told y'all this is a dog chasing his tail. We ain't evolving. Just a dog chasing his tail. So that was the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, all right. I see. We'll move on. All right. Well, listen, y'all. The BET Awards. As Black doesn't watch these January 16th, I don't watch the BET Awards. But y'all know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull on my brother today because listen, I'm telling you, he was full of it. You hear me? And he had a lot to say. So before we allow my brother to clarify some of his posts that he put on Facebook today, Lamb, can you summarize us a BET Awards 2022? What was this?
I'll get my garbage. I'm just embarrassed by our production value when it comes to Black shows.
Yep.
And it's
but Will Packer did a great job on the Oscars.
And it wasn't even Will. It's not. I don't even think it's Will. Just the folks that are there, the way that they portray themselves, what they wear. One lady had her knockers out with pasties on them. It ain't even something we could even show and review because she had her breast all out at the show. It's very weird. One chick had these hoop earrings this big, falling off while she's accepting her award. Literally, this wide hoop earrings falling off while she's getting her award. It was embarrassing to me, and the performances were okay. You have some surprises. Mariah Carey. Overall, I was disappointed. I didn't know most of the people, to be honest with you. There were so many new folks.
Why do we continue to let this go on if we're representing ourselves horrible, Kenny? I mean, did you watch?
No, I did not watch. I have not watched the BET Awards in years.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
I refuse to watch because I do know BET.com, so
what? Marcus?
They have their own stamp on those shows. Little Kim was looking good. I didn't see. Okay, I didn't see Lil Kim, but hearing my brother Lamb say what? Obviously, he disagreed. I mean, the last I saw Lil Kim,
he's single.
Like a little. I don't know. Oh, is he? Okay. Shantae says she stopped watching too. I have no reason to. I rather watch something else. I watch YouTube than BET Awards.
Well, speaking of BET, I saved the best for last. This is Black Entertainment. We literally talking about Black made a lot of posts yesterday, and I just want to ask him to clarify a few things. So I'm gonna start with post number 1 since Marcus thought Lil Kim looked good. Black said 22 hours ago, he said, "Look, Kim Blank, so disfigured, it looks like she got a Cheney when she squatted." Brother, can you explain
Marcus? I don't know who you are, my brother, and I love you, and I'm single just like you are. Maybe we saw two completely different things. You know, her body is so screwed up. It's cartoonish, and her behind is so wide that she did the classic Little Kim squat, and she looked like she had a penis.
See, That's what I was kept hearing, that she was doing the old 1990 something pose. I was like,
this. Keep in mind, guys, this is a 40-something-year-old woman squatting down, but her ass is so misshaven that when she squat down, it's starting to ride up into a fupa, so it looked like she got a penis. She looked a mess.
My goodness. Okay, Black said 22 hours ago as well. Well, they're here. They queer, and they ain't going nowhere. Oh, that's what. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I know Marcus, and if that's what it is, then I don't have to say nothing else. He know what time it is. No, I'm just teasing. Yeah. So Black said this. Well, they're here, they queer, and they ain't going nowhere. Can you please explain, brother?
So there was a performance by Billy, what's his name? Billy Porter.
Oh, he performed?
And it was, he performed.
Missed that.
And God bless his soul. He looks like he's sick or whatever. So I hope he's well.
He is sick. He got the.
That's what I imagine. You know, and I hope he truly survives it. I lost 2 brothers, HIV and AIDS, but he looked it, and they were on full display. It was a full-fledged gay masquerade ball.
Okay.
On live TV. So people think I have something against the LGBT community, and I truly don't, except that it's constantly being thrust in our faces in such a way that's why I put that out there, that, well, they here, they're queer, and they ain't going nowhere. And they was letting you know that in full-fledged spectrum, you know, that we are here. You're going to have to accept it. And again, God bless them, you know, but that was what that treat was about.
Okay, I got 2 more for you, and we can move on. Look, pun the poom poom. Am I saying that right?
You said it exactly right. There was a reggae segment on the show, which I didn't recognize who the people were.
Okay.
But it was some nasty, filthy, no good bitches out there shaking, and you know, in Jamaican terms, as they call it, a poon poon. So they had dragging that ass.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, I got one more for you. I only in Lee fashion, and DJ, we're gonna talk about Diddy later on, because I heard he bored, in my opinion. But Black says this: who are these fat blanks?
I found out later on who the artist was. You know, it was a young lady named Lotto. Now, I don't listen to her music or whatnot. She's as ghetto as can be, but she got a fat pussy on her. It looks like she's definitely a hoe, so I called her pretty much what she is.
Okay. Well, Lee want to win the lotto, I guess.
I gotta agree with DJ as far as the bad boy segment was the best part of it for me.
Best part of the show,
except for Lil' Kim, right?
I mean, even she, even she didn't look good, but what she did, her performance, just it being all bad boy, it was good. I like the whole overall thing.
All right. Now, was Faith out there?
Faith did her thing.
Really?
I think Mary J. She too. Mary J.
Mary came? Okay. Now, did they do a Biggie tribute?
He was kind of in there. You remember when they did the song with Sting, "Missing You"?
Okay, yeah.
This was highlighting he was missing Kim at the end. They kind of threw in Biggie, so that was a touching part because I thought it was genuine, where he really was expressing his loss for Kim.
Cool. Well, that's the BET Awards as it is for our BET, Black Entertainment Television. I appreciate you, brother, giving us your thoughts on that. I probably won't watch the rerun. Who cares? Yeah.
You ain't got nothing.
I believe I know Diddy. Okay, anyway, we'll talk about Diddy later. But all right, y'all. Well, if y'all didn't watch it, there it goes. You saw fat leprechaun, poom poom. I don't know, whatever it was, but anyway, whatever. Well, all right, what we got? Yeah, all right, let's move to something more civilized because I didn't know how to get out of that. So, Brother Kenny, I appreciate you, brother. What you got for us today, man? Talk to us.
Oh man, we keeping it in the DF man. We keeping it in the Metroplex, and you know what we talking about? Actually, Lamar, it's good that Lamar on this show. We talking about his favorite track. We talking about Sha'Carri Richardson. If you guys didn't know, this past weekend the USA Track Championships took place in Eugene, Oregon. And Dallas's own Sha'Carri Richardson, guess what, guys? She didn't make the Worlds. She did not qualify in the women's 100-meter, nor did she qualify in the women's 200-meter to
Are we surprised?
run in the World Championships in July. But she made some more headlines again because she fired some shots at the media. So she was kind of snaking her way through the media area. She stopped and gave a 30-second soundbite and said, listen, you media people, y'all don't know what y'all doing. You guys don't know athletes. You guys should be able to ask better questions. We are human beings just like everybody else. We come in here and you put these cameras in our face, all to do a story that you only get paid basically $1. And I basically paraphrase it. So basically, she fired shots at the media and basically saying that we are the reason by some of these lackluster performances from athletes. And my question to you fellas are, and I know your answer, but I gotta ask my brothers because I'm kind of fed up with these new wave athletes because they kind of sensitive. Are these new athletes just a little bit too sensitive when it comes to the media? Lamar, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yes, they are. First of all, they're spoiled. My thing is the media helps a lot of them get a lot more money and more visibility. So I'm not sure why they have a part with the media. And if you can't perform, just say you can't perform. Has she won anything since we found out who she was? Since I've known who she is, she ain't won nothing since that first initial win. Who is she now? I mean, I think she's overrated, to be totally honest with you, and she got a bad attitude. She can't handle it. She definitely can't handle it on whatever the next level is. If she can't handle it now. So,
yes. Yeah, she at the next level, Lamar. It ain't no other level for her to go.
She's winning anything.
She had nothing of significance. I mean, my thing is she's on the verge of being a 30 for 30. Where are they now? You know, her to go. She's only 22. Brother Brenton, what you think? What's your thoughts on it?
I agree with DJ. She's mad at the wrong people. But I got to give credit to my brother, Marcus. He said this one time. He said, don't allow your gift to take you somewhere your character can't keep you. And that's literally Sha'Carri. Like, she just as good as, I mean, it's about 4 other Sha'Carris right now that's 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? In probably every city. And they never make it, you know what I'm saying, because of one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? She slipped through the cracks because of her athleticism. But the problem is that when you go into that realm and that world, that's how they make their money. The media make their money off of you. And guess what? That's the only way you making money is because the media is going to pay to see you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a hustle. But her character is not where it needs to be. Somebody should be there next to her. I'll say this about LeBron James. I'm sorry to take this rabbit hole, but I'm gonna make a point about Sha'Carri. Like, I don't think LeBron is the greatest basketball player of all time. But what I will say is LeBron James is the greatest story that basketball has ever had. Because LeBron James statistically should not be where he is, and not as long as he's lasted.
I agree.
That man has done the miraculous. He is a unicorn in my book because everything that he is, he ain't never had a scandal, nothing. I don't know who he got behind him. Ray Donovan or somebody behind him or something, because this boy ain't never had nothing happen. But he is the epitome, and Sha'Carri needed somebody in a corner like LeBron.
Yeah, she needs to take some pages out of
Shantae says that in the comments. Shantae says that in the comments that she needs, I don't know who her people are, but she needs a publicist and she needs somebody in her corner that's going to tell her like it T.I. is, because somebody ain't giving it to her like she need to hear it.
God, mom,
probably so. Something. Brad, what's your thoughts on, which I already know too, but what this whole these athletes, man, are they look too spoiled, too sensitive?
Absolutely. And I look at it as it's entitled hypocrisy. Had she won or been winning, you couldn't have kept her away from the media. she would have loved it and soaked it up and took advantage of it, and this is a new trend that we're seeing with these new age athletes, that when they can't face the pressure and live up to the standard, all of a sudden it's somebody else's fault, or they have a mental breakdown or depression. We've seen it with Osaka in tennis.
Yep.
We've seen it with Simone Biles, Kevin Durant, great player, but way too sensitive, and we're seeing it now. And it's a level of hypocrisy that if it wasn't for the media, we wouldn't even know who you are. And I said right here on this show, about this Jakari, you can take somebody out the ghetto. You can't take the ghetto out of the person. I don't think a publicist would even help. She is who she is. I said it way back when it first happened. You could get that pussy for Boone's Farm and some Church's chicken. I said it then, and you can still get it now. It doesn't matter who she get as far as the publicist. She is who she is.
I have a question. Do y'all, Brenton, you think, or y'all, do y'all feel like social media, specifically social media, has something to do with it? How sensitive kids are to social media as far as the whole bullying stuff, and how they're so attached to it. Every little comment about them, they're reading it. See, old school was like the Whitneys and all them. They didn't read the blogs and read the stuff about them. They stayed away from it. But now these young folks need to read every single thing that someone is saying to determine who they are on their social media.
No, hey Nihar, good to see. She's here for Lamar. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh yeah. Hey, so I'll say this. For me, we grew up different. Newspapers still wrote about people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen is a perfect example. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen would fit right in this year. He didn't fit in with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with DJ. A lot of people use it as fuel. But again, if you're not that good up here, it don't matter how good you are with your Kevin Durant, another perfect example. It's just how we grew up. Our mamas and daddy told us we wasn't nothing. I'm saying it kind of tongue in cheek, but everybody else, right. Saying that's how we like coaches in the 90s and the 80s, they can't coach now, right? They can't coach today because those kids are not receptive of the way they used to coach back then. See, and again, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right. Right, and I would say this just real quick about I think the sports media, the realm is this world that I mostly deal with. It definitely is different because now you have every type of sports debate show. Everybody got their own podcast, so everybody can hear whatever somebody is saying about. Just like that. Back is when we was coming up, Michael Jordan and them didn't have all this scrutiny right there in social media. Everybody didn't have a podcast. So these new cats right now, they better than the media. They think they are the media. So when somebody have a problem with what if they playing like crap, they're gonna come back at them. And that's the biggest thing. And I have a problem with. I got a problem with Draymond Green. I'm cool with him having a podcast, but he goes at everybody because he think he can go at everybody. So a lot of these cats, man, they just need to grow up, man. I mean, me personally, I just think they too sensitive.
And I want to add the last part. For me, it's even bigger than social media. They're not being raised with the right stuff in here to me, because even though the older athletes, they might have had the exposure 24/7, whatever, but coaches, you talked about coaches, Bobby Knight will cuss you out.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But it come from upbringing, but it stems from home training too. We live in a world now where everybody's a victim, and so even if you took social media away, a lot of these people aren't being raised with the right stuff inside of them to face the realistic, idea that not everybody loves you. Not everybody loves you. And not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. But we raised a couple of generations to make these young people think that they're all winners, and that war owes them something, and that what happened to winning and losing, And so we've taken away to me, when you talk about sports, the most fundamental part about sport is there's a winner and there's a loser. But we're teaching these two generations that came behind me that, well, we're all winners, and just to participate is its own reward. What happened to taking a hook and pulling a son of a bitch off the stage because you don't have talent, or kicking somebody in their ass and telling them you're not good enough, and maybe you should try your hand at something else? But this generation, this TikTok generation, they believe that it's their entitlement, it's their God-given entitlement to win and be good at something. And how dare you tell them that, you know, they're not good at something? Makes me think about that fat bitch Lizzo coming out. I'm tired of this.
Oh my goodness!
You didn't appreciate the sequin dress she had on.
Big disco ball to start my night off. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, so let's go through these comments right quick. Nihar said, I want to be Chet per person and get him on P Valley. His credit stock would go through the roof. Marcus said talent has increased with no mental toughness and then blame it on mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Shantae said Bobby Knight used to throw chairs. He did. DJ says, in all reality, it would have been just as bad if social media were around. I agree. Older adults get amnesia sometimes. Laugh out loud. Then lastly, Nihar said, Lee Black, would you allow that white man to physically and mentally abuse your son? Well, hold on. I won't let him answer that because you may not.
Definitely would like to answer that.
I know you will, but hold on. Let me say this. I'm gonna let you because you don't know Lee, but I'll let you. I'll introduce you to him.
And I'm gonna keep it real clean. That's where we would disagree. That I don't view what they did as mental abuse, and I hate that we throw those terms around so easily now. Not everything is mental abuse. Everybody don't have to like you, and everybody don't have to talk to you and treat you with kid gloves. And when you're playing a sport, in my personal opinion, you have to be pushed to a higher level that you can exceed. And I would be absolutely okay. I have a son, and he's lazy, he's entitled, and I gave the coach every license to put a foot in that ass.
Okay, brother Kenny, I think you were done. Maybe not, but are you? Okay.
I'm good.
You're giving up the deuce. All right.
Hey, this
giving brothers dab. All right.
This one go down there.
Yes.
Yeah, we out.
Yes.
We out.
You're
Back
right.
to you, brother Brenton.
All right. I do want to take a little left here because I'm gonna tell y'all something. In my opinion, this is my opinion about this whole mentality thing. We actually figured out how the whites ran their game, which was they were always victimized, and then people always responded to them being victims. And that's how they get it. I mean, that's just literally what has been working for them since the beginning of time. And so now we done caught on, and we just done made it just this limp. It's horrible now because it worked for them. And so now everybody's trying to hold on to this. Oh, they hurt me. Oh, they did something to me. Yeah, we got that from them. So we just got to toughen up, man. It's just not going to work out. Like that's what. Okay. Anyway, I'm just telling y'all that's my opinion, and we can talk about this for another 20 minutes and just begin to unpack this thing. But there it is. So Nihar says Lee Black. Oh, yeah. So you're basically one of those.
I am.
Yeah, he is, and that's real. What's up, Charles? Good to see you. All right, listen, Kenny. I forgot who we was talking about.
What up, Charles?
Right. Yeah, Shakari. But thank you, Shakari.
What are you talking about, Shakari? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you on some type of celebrity reality show.
You lying.
Paradise, love him or hate him. Yeah, we'll see you on one of them shows. Yeah, I think Leah watched that. All right, man, what we got next? Oh, yeah, we got to be serious now. Okay, all right. Y'all hold on to y'all hats on this one. So, Roe versus Wade, everybody knows what that is, right? It got overturned this weekend, actually Friday. Yep, I think they overturned. Well, everybody knew it was coming, right?
Friday.
Real quickly, and then I'll open it up for a bigger discussion about this. But the Supreme Court struck it down 6-3. Of course, those are the new 3 justices from Trump's era, right? Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Comey Barrett. Those are the 3 that were added to the courts. This is really shaping up to be a very interesting voting year now with all this going on. So, all y'all that been sitting on y'all butts about not voting, y'all may want to come on now. So, just real quickly, gentlemen, agree or disagree on the standing, and then we'll go into a little depth with the conversation. Kenny, you agree, disagree with the verdict?
With the ruling, I
Yeah.
definitely disagree with ruling. The
Okay.
overturning, yes, I
Yeah.
disagree. But
Okay, Black, you disagree with the overturning? Okay. Lamb?
Disagree.
Okay. I'm neutral, and I'll explain why. So, Lamb, why you disagree, man, with the ruling?
I am pro-choice,
Okay.
and I think people should have a choice to do what they want with their bodies. And I'm still not convinced about when a child is a child and all that. I feel like you take it out take it out in some of those stages, it can't continue to live on its own, in my opinion. So I don't believe it's necessarily a child. And yeah, that's just my opinion on that.
Sure. All right, Black. What you do, man? Why do you feel the way you do about it?
I'll keep mine really, really short.
Mhm.
And I think you and I may share some of the same avenues here, Brother Brenton.
Mhm.
As a Jehovah's Witness, I'm charged with neutrality when
Yeah.
it comes to politics and things of that nature. And so I am definitely not an advocate of abortion. Let me state that, on its head. Having said that, I don't believe that I have the right to tell a woman what to do with her body. And so, what I've made a conscious choice to do, even in deference to my personal religious and scriptural beliefs, is this is one of those immensely personal things where, for me, I put this in the hands of God. And then, in terms of women, I bow to their will on this one. This is one of those things where, since I can't carry a child and it's not going to happen to my body, I don't think it's right that anybody can take away their choice of what they should do with their body. So, with that said, the fact that a Supreme Court justice team of people can make this decision, I'm against it. I'm against it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to you, Kenny. To DJ's point, bringing back Jim Crow laws. Right here in Texas, Senator Cornyn is asking for us now to deal with segregation in schools and Plessy versus
Brown versus Board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this is headed, gentlemen, but go ahead, Kenny. Why do you explain your position, if you could?
It's pretty simple and short. I'm like Lamar. I'm pro-choice. I think white men in particular, and Uncle Ruck is up there too, Clarence Thomas. They need to stay out of women's vaginas. We got bigger fish to fry. That's a woman's personal choice. And so that's pretty much it. I think we've had white men long enough to try to legislate what people do with their bodies, even going back to slavery. So, in my opinion, white men need to stay out of women's vaginas.
Could I add something to mine?
Sure.
I just
always for addendums.
I think that the main reason I think that they try to take this position as conservatives, Christian conservatives, primarily conservatives, is the whole death part of it, as Brittany stated. But they're all for the death penalty. So I don't think you can have one and not the other. If you're not God, who are you to say that you can kill someone based on the justice system, which is not infallible, which is sometimes based on technicalities, while some people are on death row. And so, if you're going to start legislating Christian or religious principles, there's a whole lot of other religious principles that they could be trying to legislate as well, as it relates to wearing cotton and mixed with other types of material. There's a whole lot of weird, crazy religious things that they could be trying to legislate. And I think it sets a bad precedent.
Okay, so yeah, I miss our sister because I really wanted her to talk about this. So shout out to being
Yeah, yeah, me
out the
too.
country. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. She said she's gonna try, but it's all good. People shooting up schools and they're
Yeah.
worried about. Yeah. All right, y'all. So this is what this show is, and leading is probably normally the one that gives the pretty uh, risque comments, but I'm gonna say something here, and again, I don't have one side or the other. I didn't have a problem when y'all was doing it. I don't really got an issue with them not doing it. And again, it's for where I am. The conversation would take too long for me to try to explain everything I believe. So this is what I'm going to say. Everybody that's having abortions is not being raped, and I agree that everybody who is saying that they want us to keep the babies ain't trying to take care of them when they get here. So all of this hoopla is just about we whipping it out and seeing who got the biggest one, who's along, because there was one, Republican senator. She got up there and said this was a win for the whites.
Right.
She meant to say white life, and she meant to say right of life. I don't
No,
know
she
if I
meant to say
believe
what
that.
she said. No, she meant to say what she said. Right.
And so
Yeah.
I'm going to say this again. I don't have a position as left or right, but I do believe we are all being overly exaggerating about why we want it, because everybody is not getting raped. But at the same time, I would appreciate it if y'all going to pass that law that y'all also then say that I'm going to murder the man who rapes the child. We don't want to hear that, do we? Because some of that is y'all grandmamas and y'all granddaddies and some of y'all's nephews and nieces. And so that's what I'm saying. That's if y'all gonna do it right. If y'all want her to keep it, then kill him. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Black. I do have a lot to say, but I'm just telling you, I'm neutral.
And this is such an important issue. Can I read something?
Sure.
I promise it'll take about 2 minutes.
It's your show. It's 140.
But this is so, to me, it's bothered me the entire weekend. And I want to read something. I stole this from quarterback Joe Burrow. And I thought he encapsulated it so well. He says, "I'm not pro murdering babies. I'm pro Becky, who found out at her 20-week anatomy scan that the infant she had been so excited to bring into this world had developed without life-sustaining organs. I'm pro Susan, who was sexually assaulted on her way home from work, only to come to the horrific realization that her assailant planted his seed in her when she got a positive pregnancy test result a month later. I'm pro Teresa, who hemorrhaged due to a placenta abruption, causing her parents, spouse, and children to have to make the impossible decision on whether to save her or her unborn child. I'm pro little Kathy, who had her innocence ripped away from her by someone she should have been able to trust, and her 11-year-old body isn't mature enough to bear the consequences of that betrayal. I'm pro Melissa, who's working 2 jobs just to make ends meet and has to choose between bringing another child into poverty or feeding the children she already has because her spouse walked out on her. I'm pro Brittany, who realizes that she is in no way financially, emotionally, or physically able to raise a child. I'm pro Emily, who went through IVF, ending up with 6 viable implanted eggs requiring selective reduction in order to ensure the safety of her and a safe amount of fetuses. I'm pro Jessica, who was finally getting the strength to get away from her physically abusive spouse, only to find out that she's carrying that monster's child. I'm pro Vanessa, who went into her confirmation appointment after years of trying to conceive, only to hear silence when there should be a heartbeat. I'm pro Lindsay, who lost her virginity in her sophomore year with a broken condom and now has to choose whether to be a teenage mom or just be a teenager. And I'm pro Courtney, who just found out she's already 13 weeks along, but the egg never made it out of her fallopian tube. So either she terminates the pregnancy or risks dying from internal bleeding.
Yeah.
I love where he went with it. And so it is a conflict. It's a deep issue. So I see both sides of it, but I love how he personalized it in such a way that what it said to me is that when it happens to you or your family, we may look at it differently.
Yeah, I agree with you. And and DJ said something about Clarence Thomas. And the funny thing about Clarence Thomas, this is the interesting thing about this world, right? He said he has the audacity, right? Men benefit from abortions too. So Clarence better keep his mouth shut because the way these boys are headed, they may not like that interracial relationship he got with that white woman.
Exactly.
And they want to make America great again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So be careful when you throw that stone, big boy. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have to end up marrying
Uncle.
What's the Anita Hill? I know, Black. It just went over. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So again, Roe versus Wade is going to always be a conversation of contention, but I don't think the truth is being told. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want us to be careful, even when we're arguing with our sisters. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that. Listen, I'll say it like this. I appreciate it, brother. Listen, I say it like this: if we want to control the women, well, men, you need to be controlled too. Keep your penis in your pants. You know what I'm saying? And then we just all just chill out.
Yeah.
But that ain't what we're gonna do. So, and I got it, but it's all good. So, yep. So Clarence better watch out, baby, because Sister Mike. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So that's just it in a nutshell. Like I said, I didn't want to get controversial because we have more in common as Black people than we don't, and that's just something we just don't even need to argue about because they ain't telling the truth no way. So I just want y'all to know they're not telling the truth. Yeah. So, all right. What we got next? Oh yeah, real estate. Real quick, man. Listen, thank you, my brother, for coming in on short notice. And y'all, he playing with the peons right now because this boy over here making some change over there, man. Being nosy in folks' house. So we ain't got Devin being nosy in other people's business, but we're gonna see if Lamar can be nosy in somebody's house. All right, brother, take it away. Give us some real estate real quick.
I'm lambing this real estate real quick. I like that. I'm gonna steal that. But I like it. We got just a quick news brief. The first thing I want to say is we got a few people watching, a lot of people watching. Actually, if you would hit that like button, subscribe button, show a little love, as we say on the Real Estate Insider. Show a little love. If you want to be blessed, hit that like button, subscribe button, thumbs up. All right. So Shaquille O'Neal has moved to Dallas. Kinda. He's bought a house in Dallas in a suburb called Carrollton, which I'm quite surprised he chose that area for a house, but he spent $1.2 million on it in Carrollton. Yeah, $1.2 million. This house has 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, spans over 5,269 square feet. The reason for this move is he has Big Chicken, this chain.
Oh.
And they're expanding to the DFW area. They're expanding to Texas. Dallas is one of the areas, and some other areas in Texas as well. So I'm guessing he needs residents here. Maybe a good tax break. Maybe it's a smart real estate move, but to lay some roots down here in Texas since you got business coming here. Just to look at the house, it's kind of an older house, but it's not bad. But it's not something that I would expect for Shaq to have based on this old house he had in Windermere, Florida. That was 31,000 square feet. Took him 4 years to sell it for $11 million when he had it on the market for $28 million. So that's normally his style.
Wow.
But his new style is this him.
He can only fit his shoe in there. My goodness.
Right. So
it's nice, but it definitely don't look like Shaq, but it's nice though. Yeah.
Right. So it definitely don't look like him. So I'm surprised by that. But he's here. He bought it back in May of this year. And so Shaq is here to stay.
Maybe it's Shaq's Shack.
He's definitely a Shaq. So we might see him gallivanting around town periodically since he has a house here and it's cheaper than all the other houses he's had. So he also has a house in Ladera Heights in LA, and he's worth $400 million. So he could have bought something over by Mark Cuban in Preston Hollow, Highland Park area, but he chose to go up north to the semi-hood. Carrollton is split. It has a nice side and it has kind of a very surprising. But anyway, that's all I got. It was the real estate real quick. Don't take long at all. Back to the boss man up there.
Thank you, Lamar. That's my Shaq boys. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Thank you for showing my house, man. I appreciate it. I never understand that joke when we be on TNT. Yeah. Like, I got to turn my volume up. You know what I'm saying, man? It's like, what you talking about, man? Come on, y'all. Speak up, man. some of that bass out your voice so we can hear you, man. Anyway, brother, appreciate it, man. And listen, he still got a lot more to say, and so we thank you, brother, for that real estate real quick. All right, man, where we at next? Oh, Alexa, can you do what? Y'all got Alexa in y'all house?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I think I got about 8
No,
fire
no.
sticks here. I don't use my voice though. I just ain't doing that. But apparently, y'all, I don't know what joy this is going to bring, but the Guardian is reporting that Amazon Alexa could now turn dead loved ones' voices into digital assistants.
Not bad.
I saw that.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready to hear my great grandmama and my granddaddy. Lamar, just if you had to choose, what voice would you want to hear on there as a past loved one?
It wouldn't be none of my relatives. It'd be a celebrity.
You don't want to hear
Oh, wow. You want to hear none of them, huh, bro? Wow.
All right.
No,
I'll expand it. I'll expand it. Whose voice would you want to hear? You want to hear Michael's?
Michael, no. I listen to Whitney Houston sing in the morning to wake me up.
Oh, okay.
I do Whitney Houston or something like that.
Did you do Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
Oh man, DJ say
I hear coughing and sniffing a little bit, but it's still Whitney.
Oh, okay. DJ said Shaq is my girl best friend godfather. He has 2 kids in Texas.
Houston.
All right, that's what's up. I guess Neha is talking to DJ. I'll say that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
DJ, Neha
Neha
got to tell you something. You don't got to post it, but Neha. Sure.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, she
Black?
talking to you, DJ.
Yeah, we'll keep the show going while y'all do that down now. Y'all go on. Black. Who you want to hear on Alexa, if not relatives?
You know what? This is one of those things where I actually save the recordings that when my mom calls me. I do have a comfort now. My mom is living, just so you know, 86 years old.
Okay.
But I draw a comfort from, I just don't want to erase those messages. So I get this actually in a way. Now, for some people that might be too much, but I actually get the idea behind it that, a voice, and I lost 2 brothers. Not everybody will be able to handle it. Like I would imagine my mom probably couldn't deal with that, losing 2 children. I would be okay if I had a way to capture my brother Alan Paul's voices and to kind of be able to talk to them. For me, I actually like it.
Okay. I do think it's a little different. Now, Brother Kenny, we can. You got space to deal with that one? You want if you got a celebrity or somebody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No. It would definitely be. I'm like Black. It would definitely be my mother. I mean,
okay.
And I'm big on that. I'm the one of the type of guys that I truly believe in leaving voicemails. If I call you and I don't get an answer, I will leave a message because you just never know.
Me too.
That might be the last message that you ever hear from me, and my kids that. So I tell people say, "Why you leave messages all the time?" I say, "You just never know. This might be the last time you hear my voice, and you might want to keep." Now, like everybody may not think like that. I do, just because of the number of losses that I've had in the last 5 years of my life.
Capricorn brother there,
loved one. So
that's my Capricorn.
So I would definitely dig that. Yeah.
My
sure.
Alexa
I would definitely
randomly talks. My Alexa randomly gives me reminders about bills and stuff I put in there about a year ago.
Really?
All of a sudden, yesterday, I heard her say, "Reminder, Reliant Electricity." I'm like, what the heck? Scared the crap out of me. If I just heard that randomly, I'll be freaked out.
Oh,
you gotta go, brother. You gotta go.
My voice.
Wow.
That's funny. I really don't. I like a lot of quiet, so I really want my people around me talking. So I don't think I want to hear nothing from Alexa. I tell my kids shut up and tell my wife, you got any more words left? I don't even want to hear from Alexa, to be honest with you. So it's not really anybody. If I had to hear from nobody. No. I mean, if I could hear the Lord clearer, that'd be good. But Other than that, nah, I can't. I don't know about nobody else, but yeah, I can barely stand hearing the people that's alive talking. So
Wow.
just know, y'all, Alexa she's trying to keep up with the times, and maybe she can help some of the I think it's gonna call some of these psychics to get some more of y'all money, because y'all gonna think it's really y'all people, and boy, they gonna come get y'all. They gonna come get all that money from y'all, you big dummies.
You know, the only problem is, though, you have to be careful with this, because this could you could kind of mess, I think, a little bit. You can use somebody's voice to trick you into doing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they got some sort of safeguards if you use it to make sure that voice isn't being replicated, or you know what I'm saying?
Look at DJ.
Alexa, play R.
Play
Kelly.
R.
There
Kelly.
we go.
That's what y'all was doing when y'all saw Lizzo coming down them stairs with that flute, didn't y'all? Yeah, I know what y'all wanted.
Free R. Kelly.
Yeah, he ain't dead yet. But all right, man. Thank you for that, Alexa. Let's move on. Daddy-daughter relationship. Speaking of, she said y'all just vote and vote correctly. Neha ain't left. All right, Neha, we'll come back to the voting. So listen here, daddy-daughter. Speaking of, Alexa should have stopped this fight, y'all. I wanted to talk about this, and it's good that all us on here are the fathers. So apparently in Dallas, there was a fight between a father and a daughter, and the daughter, she's 16, and she actually stabbed her daddy with a knife. The incident happened around 11 p.m. Friday, and it says police say that the daughter and her father got into an argument about some kind of disrespect. Now, you know this is a black family, right? Because we the only ones that be tripping about kids disrespecting us. Because I'm here to tell y'all, those white kids, they're very disrespectful.
Right.
So, but it's one of us. It says police says the argument turned into a full fight, leaving both with physical trauma after fists were thrown. Now, I got an issue with this. Like, there is nothing in this world, I guess maybe it's me, the things I put in place. Like, my daughter could never upset me to the point where I'm a hitter. Like, I don't know what kind of food that is. And so I'm almost okay with you getting stabbed, but you don't. Like, my oldest daughter's 18, and she got a mouth on her. But I think I put my bark in real good at, she know when to cut it off. So maybe that's his fault. I don't know. So I just want to talk about this daughter-father relationship. Like, let's Monday morning quarterback this thing. Why did we have to get here, and who should have cut this thing off? I know it's simple, but at some point, like, even if you make a mistake as a parent, because we've all made mistakes as parents, but it would never get to the point to where my child gonna stab me and I'm putting my closed fist on my child. So, Kenny, that's Monday morning quarterback. How can we avoid this as fathers, especially with our daughters? Because listen, we'll get upset at a boy doing that. You know what I'm saying? Why in the world would a father want to do something like that?
Man, this is a tough one. I don't know. I have a daughter.
I normally come with those, man. I normally come with those.
I think as a father, we approach our discipline, boys and our girls, different. I can only speak for me, but I think most fathers approach disciplining their daughters and their boys totally different. Now, sound like to me this has been a strained relationship from the jump. Sounds like. Don't know the origin of it, but as a father, he's the adult. Someone has to have a level head there, regardless if she was disrespecting you or not. I get that, as a black, coming from the black community, we always heard that saying. Cliff Huxtable made it popular. I brought you in this world, I take you out. And a lot of times we take that to a little too far as parents, black parents. So I don't know. This relationship is obviously strained. And I think the father in this particular instance, it's on him. not knowing what all that transpired, but just what I read, it's on him to be the adult and maybe step back just a second.
Yeah. And I want to say this here. I want to be truthful. I've struggled with anger problems. Even when my children were younger, I did have anger issues, and I've addressed those things. I mean, I'm matured, right? So I'm not oblivious to this. He said, how did it get to that point at that relationship? Yeah, exactly. So I do,
right, exactly.
I do empathize with people who struggle with anger issues. So I don't want y'all to think I'm missing it. I get it, but I never put my hands, like, I'm not finna punch my daughter. No, I mean, I'm not gonna punch.
Right.
Well, I will punch my son, especially if he. So maybe we'll get to that.
We look at our sons and daughters differently.
Yeah. Because my boy stands 6'2", and I have to, I be having to check that joker sometimes. Like, all right, boy, now listen, I ain't Cliff Huxtable, but I put my hands up on that chin. Black, but speak on this, brother.
Well, my son will be 22 coming up in July, and I almost think it's a rite of passage to challenge your parent.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think it's something for boys. That's been my experience growing up as boys. You get to a point where you smell yourself and you want to see what you're made of. And I was happy to oblige him.
I know that's right.
He and I went at it, and I beat the living breaks off of him. And then I'm happy to say about a month ago, his sister, she came and stayed with me. And she's 20 years old. I gave her the only beating she's ever had. And when I say beating, we're not talking about with, a stick or nothing like that. I gave her the only beating, So in raising my son, I was there when she was little. My problem has been that I believe that spit or rod spoil a child. So I'm an advocate of spankings, whippings. It did me some good. The youngest of 11 children. I think we've taken discipline out of homes, discipline out of schools, and everywhere else for that matter. And that's why we have some of the issues that we have. I'm all for whippings. I would like to believe that because I put my whipping in on this young girl at such a young age, I never had to give her another whipping again. And the end result is this. She was here about 3 weeks ago. She and my son have immensely way more respect for what I say and for me than they do with the mom. And that's because I did go there. I don't have a problem with whippings, but we a couple of generations removed where, we went that timeout stuff and don't whip them. I think whippings are important. That's an important lesson part of discipline, in my personal opinion. And so where this situation got offhand, to me, I can, as a crystal ball, this is somebody that, girls are worse than boys now in this generation, the way they talk to, adults and things of that nature. And so it should have never got to that place. I believe some good old fashioned ass whoopings, if you start early, it can curtail a lot of this behavior.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Lamb.
I think in this situation, it's the dad for sure. Like you said, I can't think of a reason where I would punch my daughter or son. I don't even punch my son, or definitely not get involved with where there's weapons involved.
Right.
I think that if you have enough anger to where you have the propensity to do that, and you probably been whipping the mama's ass all along, and they're accustomed to seeing you be violent in that fashion. So I just think it's a whole toxic situation, toxic household altogether. That's all.
Yeah. It's definitely a lack of control there. From one, speaking of experience, I've broken a few doors in my day and, did things, but I've never put my hands on my family. And, I'm thankful that I've matured to a place to where that my temper is no longer gets the best of me, to where I'm frustrated and angry like that anymore. So, yeah, that's a pretty bad space to be in. Again, the pandemic didn't help anything, and people are having to atone for a lot of things that they did while everybody was closed up inside. So, I'm teaching you want to, as a father, you want to teach your children what they should be expecting out of people that are not their family, but they say that they care about them. You know what I'm saying? You want them to have something to build from. And so that's not it. And 9 times out of 10, a relationship like that is going to spill over into a romantic relationship that's going to also involve some type of physical violence. So let's just do better, people. If you don't mind, please do better by your children and do better by getting yourself some help. So,
Absolutely.
All right, what we got next, man? All right, listen, y'all. We've heard a lot from him today, and shout out to Diddy. We didn't get to it, but he gave Deion School and Howard University $1 million a piece, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
I forgot.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. Shout out to Diddy.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
I'm pretty sure that's not what Lee's going to talk about, but here we are. Frankenstein Unleashed, sir. Let him have it.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and revisit the new reality that we find ourselves in with Roe versus Wade, with it being repealed. And even if you look at the conversation timeline to this very show, it's a polarizing subject, and wherever you fall on the side of it, I'm not getting into that part of it. I just want to talk about, where we are, because we're in a new reality, and I'm actually terrified right now. Because we've opened Pandora's box. And why did I bring up Frankenstein? Whenever you hear the name Frankenstein, it evokes an image of some 7-8 foot monster with a big square head and grain and this and that. But if you really know the story of Frankenstein, the famous story written by Mary Shelley, Frankenstein was actually the doctor.
That's right.
What we think of as Frankenstein was actually the monster. And he actually was a sympathetic character. The true monster was Frankenstein, because what he did, he pushed science to a place that took the place of God, and just because you can do something don't mean you should. And so, of course, he reanimated dead tissue and created this monster and then abandoned him. Why is that relevant today? Under the past 2 presidents, we've been seeing this fight go on about this Supreme Court issue, Roe v. Wade. Now, the right wing conservatives, they got what they wanted. But I want you guys to be careful and realize that under Obama, 2 terms, he made a statement that when it came to this issue, it was not a top priority. He literally said that. And so in the 8 years that he was president, he did nothing. And at that time, he had the political clout and power that he could have ensured that this would never happen. Having said that, what we've seen happen in our lifetime now on Friday, we've seen the monster unleashed, because what they did, they've unleashed the monster upon society. And you talked about it on the show, Brother Brenton. We need to be careful here now, because now that the Pandora is open, the genie's out the bottle, what's to stop them from talking about interracial marriages? They're going to come after gay people next. They're going to have to come after contraceptives next. The fact that Clarence Thomas is out here talking about this, you mentioned it, you really need to be careful what you ask for. There's a saying in one of my favorite movies, Equalizer, when you pray for rain, you still have to deal with the mud. They need to be very, very careful, because what they've inadvertently done, and to Nihar, you're right, where it's going to come down to voting, is they are making enemies of 2 of the biggest voting blocks out there.
Yes, sir.
Women and gays. So be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. And now that the monster is free, have at it.
Wow. The monster's free and he's free. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, y'all, this has been an amazing show. I appreciate everybody and their participation, from the chats to my brothers here in this show. So they've already said gay marriage, gay relationship, and yeah, I know. So we're gonna see, y'all. This
already said it. Yep.
I said it on this show. Y'all heard it in the beginning of my credits. We going down here from here. So these old folks that have been climbing that rough side of the mountain, no, we sliding down now. Yeah, Cornel allegedly, yeah, that's what he said. So yeah, we brought that up too.
Man, he tweeted that. Yeah, he tweeted that. Yeah.
Fantastic show, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. So it is final thoughts time, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll start with my brother Kenny. My brother, give me your final thoughts.
I'm gonna take it off the I'm highly honored to sit on this platform with you three brothers. But I want us to give a shout out to a trailblazer that we lost on today, Marlon Briscoe. If you don't know who Marlon Briscoe was, he was the first black quarterback to start in an AFL football game in 1960. He was drafted in the 14th round by the Denver Broncos out of the University of Omaha. He told Denver, I'm not coming to play any other position but quarterback. If you don't allow me to play that position, I'm going back to be a teacher. And sure enough, he became a starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, played a couple of seasons for the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, and ended up winning a Super Bowl with the 1972 Miami Dolphins, who was the only undefeated team in NFL history to win the Super Bowl. So salute to Marlon Briscoe, the trail quarterback to ever start in an AFL game. He died today at the age of 76. And that is my final thoughts.
Nobody does it better than Brother Kenny. Appreciate it, brother. Always bringing the knowledge. Lee Black, give me your final thought, my brother.
My final thoughts is about waking up. I've said it many times about us staying woke. And since we are the woke generation, I want to wake you up a little bit with this. More than 1 million voters across 43 states have decided to switch over to the Republican Party within this past year. And of these 1 million voters, these are mostly suburban voters. That means the well-educated and the swing votes. Why is this important? Because you know who's going to be affected most by this Roe v. Wade stuff? The poor and the marginalized. So I've said it on this show before. Don't get caught up in the minutia of the president and this and that. Local elections, things that affect our lives on an everyday basis. Get involved at that level because those are the things that are going to matter. Don't lose sight of the forest for the trees. If you're going to stay woke, wake all the way up.
Damn, boy, I tell you, y'all would think with all that crazy talk, he don't really got some sense, but he got some sense. You know? I mean, the man got some sense now. I know it. I done seen it now. Y'all just don't know it. That man living a double life. Y'all just don't know that, right? Anyway, I love that brother. Good stuff, man. Lamb.
I think politically we're on a horrible spot, to be honest with you. The Democrats' messaging is off, and their message is even worse, to be totally honest with you. So if they even got their messaging on point, the message is still all over the place. So there's really not anything to even grab hold to vote for other than pro-choice rights, things of that nature, because Democrats aren't offering anything. That's why people are switching over to the Republican Party. I'm neither a Democrat or a Republican, but Democrats are offering absolutely nothing. They promise a whole lot during the campaigns, and they give absolutely nothing. They think they just take it for granted that we're supposed to vote for them because we're black, because we're minorities, and because they're protecting gay rights and abortion and all that. But no longer, by the way, because it's changed. So I wouldn't know who to vote for right now, to be totally honest with you. I promise you it wouldn't be Biden and it wouldn't be Trump. I don't know who's next up.
Pedro.
Have no idea. I'm just like almost don't want to vote. And I know people always say, just vote, no matter what, just vote. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in just vote. I don't believe in that because if you voting for someone who I'm not in favor of, I don't want you to vote. I prefer you not vote. And I might not vote, to be totally honest with you, if no one has my values. That's all.
Ah, man, where's Napoleon Dynamite when you need him? Come on, man. We need you, brother. Come on. Man, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, this investigation, if it wasn't for Liz Cheney, I think they'd have jacked that up too. So she's a dog. She's the dog that's been pulling their sleds. I just want y'all to know that. So they don't know. The Democrats don't know how to do a lot of things. Yeah, I don't get into that. But listen, y'all. Thank y'all for being on. Again, shout out to Devin, wherever she is, getting her tan on or doing whatever naughty things that she shouldn't be doing. But, yep. But we'll see her next week. But appreciate my brother sitting in.
We miss you.
Gentlemen. Yeah, we do, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Got a question for you all. Do you all believe that in giving equal rights to everybody?
Yes.
On this surface, yes.
Okay. All right. Nihar says
On the
love
surface,
you too.
yeah. But
Nihar says love you to death, but I'm about to tell you, she gonna, Lamar.
What she saying?
what
Don't.
Lamar? What you do to
Um.
Nihar? She said she
Okay.
about to tell you.
Oh, because you're not
Oh,
voting. Oh.
No.
okay.
You don't want me to
Duh.
vote New York because I vote Republican before I vote Democrat.
Listen, because he don't want whatever you finna do to him. He sure don't want it. I promise you. Now, my boy Lee Black made.
I was gonna say Lamar. I don't know.
That's it. Now, Black could take it all. Anyway, let me stop. Just go watch the last show. Black could do.
Yeah, you'll understand.
All right, so y'all agree that we all believe in giving equal opportunity, right? To no matter gender, race, creed, right? Well, take a look at this.
What happened?
What the heck?
Now they all were doing the same thing. But just see it one more time, just in case you didn't miss it.
What happened?
Now they all were given the same opportunity, but the problem with that point is the outcomes may not always be the same. So be careful always wanting us to be equal in everything that we do, because the outcome may not always be the same. Now the opportunity may, but what comes on behind that may not be so. So when we talk about gender roles and what we ain't doing and what we are doing, we just need to do better about, respecting each other's positions and, helping each other out as best we can. So yes, you might get that thing thrown around your neck and you be on your back, but just be careful. But anyway, all right, that's Kenny, that's Black, and that's Lamb. I know y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday. We out of here later.